Now, the thing that you said that really centered it for me, right, was when you mentioned, when I tried to explain back to you something you had said, which is that all belief systems actually exist to accomplish two things: to help us with inhibition and self-regulation.
Yeah.
In what sense?
So,
Because this is how I'm thinking about it, right? If you tell me that, oh, Charles, the reason when your parents took you to church when you were a child was so that you would encode a certain ability to self-regulate, I would have said that by all means, let's put all of us there, right? But that's not how I thought about it. I thought that, I was being taken to church and then they were going to show me all these ways that I could end up in hell. But you are saying that no, 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 that's not what it's about at all. What it's really about is a way for you to regulate your system.
so see, human system is far away. We understand. It's not very easy to understand. So for understanding human process, so it's more like a reward driven, right? We want everything, right? Like we simply, if you just say, look, that animal system and human is very, very close. You know these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Very close, because most of time when we have to be do any drug testing, we first do that animal model come up, and then we try to human, because they are more similar to us. That's why we do those things. So here, now, if we are not self-regulated ourselves, I mean, how the religion will self-regulated? Because while you are going to any church or mosque or temple, so at that time, what do you say? Your system, you have a certain desire to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to stop that process, you need someone to stop that process. Means you need some kind of like a maybe fear, because human is always feared. Means someone give a lot of fear to human, and then we say, oh, if you do these things, then God will punish you. If you do that things, then someone do these things for. So always human have a fear, and we are most of time fear driven also at the same time, because if you have some fear, you always going to stop that things,
Yeah.
like criminal activity. So if someone do, so someone put in jail, so we have a fear, we always stop us. So this is the one thing how the religion self-regulate to you.
Wow.
And that's why we say, okay, go to church, do prayer. Okay, in childhood, most of time people what they say their children, okay, if you are doing these things, God will punish you, right? If you telling lie, God will punish you. It's a kind of like a sin, right?
Yeah.
While we are telling,
Yeah.
because we did something wrong that is not for good for society. It means if you started and just stolen something, because we need that things, we don't have, we need these things, and that same time someone know, and we say, oh, we never took these things, and eat like toffee or something like
That's
that.
right.
So we
Yeah.
have,
Yeah. As a child. Yeah.
as a child, and then we always say, oh, I never took these things. Mostly happen in how every house,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that is our desire, right? We took that things. So now to inhibit, because that process is always there.
Yeah.
So
That thing in us that wants to take for the thing that we want.
that's right, because we are always a reward driven system.
Yeah.
We always, human is driven by something. Is means sometimes you want a reward, sometimes you need something, have a desire to do. Sometimes, most of time, we have so much excitation to do those things. So how we are going to control those things? So at that time, religion will take place to control or to regulate your system. We are not putting these things to animal because their system is not that much kind of like a driven, because they always, you see that animals, they always in a very different places. They never will be a religion driven system. Human is a creature that uh, may process so much information, and it always overburdened with that information. So to suppress that overburden, you need a regulation, and that will stop your system.
You're saying that without religion, the world might be in chaos.
Yeah, it always there. Even you see today also, but it but it's a only just
I mean, it'll be in worse chaos, and chaos of a different origin than the one that religion.
right.
Whoa. Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of how two people can have high LDL and it'll be bad for one and not bad for the other, accounting for looking at just the numbers. For instance, I have very high LDL because of how I eat, right? And if I didn't have my health profile, it'll be a marker for like I'm going to die right now. And I hope I don't. So what you're saying is that it's the same thing, right? That we have violence in the world. And you can see that, oh, some of that violence can be directly pointed to at religion because, airplanes blow up and that sort of thing. And you're saying that still, if we didn't have religion at all, we would have violence probably of a greater and worse magnitude than we have right now because there'll be less regulation, there'll be less inhibition, there'll be less control and self-regulation.
Yeah, religion is not a bad thing at all. Religion is kind of like if people truly understand, religion is a kind of like an inhibition process in true means. Someone say, oh, I want to be understand that nature, then it will help a little, not fully help. It will help a little to reach that to that energy. But ultimately, if you want to be religion cannot make you spiritual. Spiritual is far above than religion.
Wait. Take two steps back. So you went from religion, now you're talking about spirituality.
Yeah.
That gap, what is inside that gap? Because right now we have come to a place in the world where everybody thinks that everybody has made peace with the fact that spirituality is important. Like even people who don't care anything about religion, they think spirituality is important. And it's become clear that all of a sudden, that all along, religion was just the front man for spirituality. Religion was just the gatekeeper. Right now, people are saying, okay, we don't care about the gatekeeper. We just want what is inside. Now, except religion was the only scaffold we had for climbing up towards spirituality. What is this model that you can see?
So see, religion is always talk about inhibition, right? If now there will be, if in my understanding, I understand science is proportional to spirituality. If you really understand science, then you have to be understand spirituality, or science led you take through spirituality. But in between, religion will come up. So now religion will align somehow and some way to understand spirituality, or it will make part for spirituality. Some people say, oh, I'm not a religion person, I want to be spiritual. Then again, you are don't understand because your thought, you have such a huge information, you can't control your that processing.
Whoa. What you're saying is that religion is just foundational to the spiritual path. You need religion to prune some of those, to shut
Some
some
of
of those inhibitions down,
inhibition.
so that you can even have the substrate in order to approach spirituality.
Right. So at least you need a basic thing about religion to inhibit your process. Otherwise, if you just make excitatory everything in your system, it again become a chaos, because your system have a threshold of energy. If you are above the threshold, then you can't, you uh, if your system reach a threshold, you again become a tired. Then you need something, either you need coffee, tea, to just make some energy to your system to again run for a while. And sometimes it create a problem. Those people become a psyches, they have a brain disorder, they will started taking drugs or something, because they want to inhibit their system. It's not they need that one, because they have so much information, they can't digest it, they can't process it. So then it create a chaos in their within their system, and that's why they are started with drugs. They always have a fear to go away from societies and everything. It's
So
not very.
wait, so I am trying to scaffold us back to the space between religion and spirituality, right? You said about the fact that we need religion as foundational to pruning some of those crazy instincts that we are all born with, to consume, to break, to rape, to destroy, to just all of that. Religion says that you shall not do that, you shall not do that, you shall not do that. And those inhibitions press down on us and normalize us for existence in society, so that we can approach something we call spirituality. Now, what is that thing we call spirituality?
So in spirituality,
Is it just the state of being normalized, which is to say the state of absorbing all of religion?
so in spirituality, you just right now you know understand how to inhibit your system, right? In spirituality, you never inhibit any process. You just let them through, and you observing your own system by yourself.
Hang on.